Hello everyone. Today we're gonna talk about stress, strain, and Young's modulus. First of all, I want you to imagine a rubber. And by rubber, I mean something like rubber band or an eraser, I think, because it has a rectangular shape, the one I draw. Then put your hands to the both sides. Use your hands to give it a force, or in the easy way, I can say use your hand to pull the rubber to two opposite directions. You can imagine that the rubber will get longer. Like if the first length is L1, it will change into L2. And we can define the length difference delta L as L2 minus L1. Keep it in mind, if we give a force to an object, it will deform by a certain length difference. Now let's imagine another object with the same shape and same size, but it is made from iron. We can pull it too, like before, but to get the same length difference, to make it change from L1 into L2, we can imagine that we would need much greater force, right? It's not easy to deform an iron if we compare it to rubber. Now, what's the difference between the two materials? Why the iron is harder to deform rather than the rubber? It is because these two materials have different mechanical characteristics. Like if I give a mechanical force, they both would give a different response. In this case, they would deform in such different ways. And these mechanical properties I talk about is Young's modulus, or it's usually written as E. In mathematical model, Young modulus is stress over strain. Usually written as these two. Basically, stress is force over an area, cross section. Like, okay, let's imagine this material as 3D like this, okay, and we pull it to this direction. We just apply this force into this area, right? So this is the A I mean. This is the A of the rubber and this is the A of the iron. And then strain is a length difference over the initial length. So this one over this one. Now, if we back to the rubber and iron case, I have told you that they both have the same shape and size. So they would have the same area and initial length. And I want to have the same deformation. So the delta L are also the same. But, like we have discussed before, the force are different. The force we need to deform the iron, let's say Fi, is greater than the force we gave to the rubber. This one. So by following this equation, we can say that the Young's modulus of iron is greater than the Young's modulus of the rubber. If we have other materials, let's say material A or material B, material C, we can do the same thing. We can give it a force and measure the length difference. Then we can calculate it and get the Young's modulus. Young's modulus of material A, material B, and material C. This Young's modulus could be used as a quantitative parameter to predict how this material will deform. So like we already know that iron is harder to deform. By harder, I mean we need more force to get the same length difference with rubber. It's defined as the Young's modulus of the iron is greater than the rubber. Now, if we don't know the material, but we already know the Young's modulus of this material, material X, material Y, like I said, we can predict it. That's the function of Young's modulus. I have to tell you too that this Young's modulus is not just for the tensile force. Tensile force is the force that given in this direction, like we have discussed before. It can also apply to the compression force. That is, if we pushed this object to the center, so the deformation will be like this. This is the L1, and this is the L2. Okay, I think that's I think that's for today. Thank you for watching.